Have you heard from Mike Johnson? Have you heard from your Republican colleagues? Are they going to come back to work?
Well, it sounds like they're not. I mean, this is really remarkable, right? It would be funny, except the consequences are so severe. We are on the 13th day of the shutdown. We have not been in session because Mike Johnson sent us home for 24 days. And as Michael said, we've only worked 20 days since the Republicans passed their big bad betrayal bill. And in that time, what you have seen is premium notices right now are going out. I'm hearing about them from my constituents with super high increased premium rates for health insurance. People are worried they're not going to be able to afford their health insurance, and they won't, because premiums will double if Republicans don't do anything. Secondly, student loans that were canceled under Joe Biden and Democrats have now been restarted under this administration. Those notices just went out in October as well. And on top of that, you have grocery prices going up, utility prices going up. And these guys are having fundraisers in, wherever with their billionaire buddies instead of doing the work of governing. And the reality is the American people get this. I have federal workers who I've met with. I just had a roundtable with a bunch of them, and they are like, Congresswoman, stand strong, because these people want to take advantage of us. They're bullying us. They're threatening us. They're telling us they won't pay us even after the government reopens. And by the way, they already fired 150,000 people before the shutdown ever happened. So I really do think that people understand we are fighting for their lives. We are fighting for the healthcare of the American people, and we are fighting to reassert our power over what these Republicans are doing to destroy the lives of Americans everywhere.
So as you make that argument, here is the argument that Speaker Johnson is making about ACA premiums. Take a listen.
We have to fix healthcare in America, and we have ideas to do it. But we have to have government open and operating to do that. I cannot snap my fingers and go in a back room with Chuck Schumer and say, oh, here's the magic fix for it. It's not how it's going to work. The COVID era Obamacare subsidy that they're all talking about is supposedly the issue of the day. It doesn't expire until the end of December. And by the way, it is the Democrats who created that subsidy who put the expiration date on it. They did it all on their own. Republicans weren't involved in that at all.
For folks at home, we actually had to show Trump first because, he tells Mike Johnson what to do.
I mean, the audacity, Congresswoman, to say that this issue is somehow the issue of the day, the issue du jour, when this has been the issue, not just from Democrats, right? Like, put that aside. This has been an issue. You look at the polling, American people, Republicans, MAGA voters, they said they didn't want to see these subsidies expire. So I am confused because Mike Johnson has to know that he's on politically shaky ground here. He has to know that he has members in Florida, in Texas, who are about to hear from their constituents who are absolutely pissed about the fact that his members are not standing up for a thing that they are telling them loudly and clearly that they want.
Well, you're confused because it is a stunningly confusing thing that he is saying. And so we got to peel it apart because there's so many lies in there. Their ideas for fixing healthcare was when they passed the big bad betrayal bill that cut 15 million Americans off of healthcare because they slashed Medicaid by $1 trillion. That's why rural hospitals are slated to close. That's why people are already starting to feel the hurt of what's going to happen when the nursing home closes, what's going to happen when I don't have my Medicaid. So that's their idea of fixing healthcare. Secondly, this idea that we can't negotiate while we're shut down is ridiculous. I mean, I don't even know how he says it with a straight face. He can be negotiating right now. We can be working on things in the House right now. By the way, why don't we swear in Adelita Grijalva, who was elected more than 2 weeks ago, and he refuses to swear her in
Free the 218.
He won't bring the House back because he doesn't want to release the Epstein files. So everything that the guy is saying, and for a while he was trying to blame it on immigrants. He was trying to, all these things have been lies. Here's the truth. There is one truth. and it is that Republicans do not want to fix healthcare. They want to slash healthcare from the American people, and they do not want to govern. That's truth number two. Because if you control the House, the Senate, and the White House, it is your responsibility to find the votes to pass a bill that keeps government open. And you know what? Everything that they have done over the last 9 months has been about breaking their word. They negotiated an appropriations bill, which was not a clean CR, by the way. That was not a clean continuing resolution in March. It actually slashed funding levels from the year before. That's why all the House Democrats voted against it. But some Senate Democrats said, okay, we're going to give you a shot. We'll pass this thing. They pass it. And then right after that, they rescind money that they just appropriated. The White House is openly laughing at Congress. They're openly laughing at Mike Johnson and John Thune for refusing to assert our own congressional Article 1 powers. They've basically given everything over, and they just do what Donald Trump tells them to do.
That last part is perhaps the most important piece of all of this regarding the shutdown, regarding the narrative, the language, the noise that we hear. Congresswoman, I will just say, number one, Michael Johnson, Speaker Johnson, will not move to open the Congress until Donald Trump tells him to.
That's
period.
right.
That's just not, let's be honest about the thing in front of us, because that's what it is. And number two, I give to you, as I've given to your your fellow members of the House and Senate who've joined us at this table, this thought. With respect to seating the incoming member, Ms. Grijalva, please remember, you got to free the Epstein 218. You got to free the Epstein 218.